Alright, now time for the movies that are frustrating to watch but more fun to talk about. So these are the top 10 worst movies of 2018. Now the same rules apply to this one, to the best list as well, so if you don't know the rules, just go and check out those ones. And also there are only one of these movies that I have done a review on but haven't uploaded it yet. So, enough rambling, let's just get on to the worst of the worst. These are the top 10 worst movies of 2018.
Number 10.
Number 10 is Rampage. Rampage is one of those movies that is still trying to cash in on the video game movies, but, you know, failing to understand what made the games really good. Dwayne Johnson is possibly the only reason that this movie isn't low on the list.
Number 9.
Why continue to make shark movies? The Meg. Honestly, like, The Meg is like a PG-13 version of Jules. With Jason Statham. Sleepwalking. That's what I can say.
Number 8.
I wasn't really planning to put this movie on the list, but the more that I actually thought about it, I thought, you know, this movie isn't really that great. And that would have to be Halloween. Now, this movie feels like it's an American, like, comedy movie. It feels like one of those sick American comedy movies. It doesn't really feel like, you know, Halloween. Like, it's always going for, like, jump scares. It's never really going for, like, you know, just the creep factor. It's always, like, constant jump scares. It's just a bit distracting.
Number 7.
The Predator. My problem with these movies is the exact same problem that I had with Halloween.
Number 6. Number 5.
Okay, look, just because your father was great doesn't mean that your son can also translate that well. The Happy Time Murders. Okay, I feel kind of wrong starting off like that because Brian Henson actually has done some pretty good work. Like, he actually did Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppet Treasure Island. But this movie, it tries to go for like an R-rated puppet version. But the thing about this is that the reason that we love the Muppets is because each of them have like their own split personality and them working off each other. This one has Melissa McCarthy and a swearing cop who's a puppet, and it just doesn't really work.
Number 4.
This movie is a story that really, no one really cared about because we felt like it was already written out for us, but then we actually saw this movie and we were like, that doesn't feel like the same character. Solo, a Star Wars story. Solo, like, I guess I kind of had a little bit low doubts in this movie anyway, ever since Phil Lord and Chris Miller left. This kind of really shows that why you really shouldn't hire directors, fire them, and get another director doing the exact same movie. The performances were fine, you know, with the standouts being Donald Glover and Paul Bettany, but everything else about this movie is just so boring and nothing spectacular about it.
Number 3.
Thank God Sony did Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse, because Venom is just not a good example about what Sony is. Venom is just one of those movies that really didn't need to happen. The only reason it's there is because Sony still have the rights to it, and they just want to keep on doing it and not send it back to Marvel. Tom Hardy was pretty good in the movie, and the effects were pretty good, but for me, like, everything else was just, you know, nothing really, you know, great about it. This movie was originally going to be R-rated, but then changed to PG-13. There's nothing really scary about it, and there's nothing really, you know, great about it. Venom only really makes, like, a 5-minute appearance in every scene, and he just goes away. Wow, you can't even keep your title character around, can you?
Number 2.
Fucking Peter Rabbit. That's all I can say. Peter Rabbit.
Number 1.
You know, even though I do shit on Sony quite a bit, I didn't actually expect a Disney movie to be my number 1 worst movie of this year. A Wrinkle in Time. Oh my god. Like, this movie is so mismade. Like, the jokes don't work, the acting is horrible, everyone is just miscast apart from Oprah, who just kind of just falls asleep in the movie. The lines are not inspiring. The movie is shot horribly, and there's nothing really, and there's just nothing great about it. It's literally a cartoon made into live action. Okay, so that was my top 10 worst movies of 2018. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And next we will get on to the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019. Because honestly, there is a lot of movies that I'm really anticipating for next year. So, I'll see you then, and Happy New Year.